Speaker, sir, I rise to present the budget for the year 2022-2023. This is the final budget of the 13th Assembly, and I take this opportunity to extend my gratitude and appreciation to all the honorable members of this August House for their cooperation extended and the constructive suggestions given to the government on important issues concerning the state. Sir, for the past several decades, the Indo-Naga political imbroglio has been one of the central issues that have deeply impacted all aspects of Naga society. Generations have grown up under the shadow of violence, political instability, and insurgency. Every family has felt the pain of deep blood and tears shed. The political movement has created social turmoil, developmental deficiencies, and enormous hurdle for us, particularly the youth, by restricting them in their quest to realize their aspirations. The younger generations have been greatly challenged as they have been denied equal opportunities with their counterparts in the rest of the country and other parts of the world. Over decades, the entire Naga society has suffered and felt deep impact of political movement that has stunted our growth and held back our youth. How long can we permit such a scenario to continue? We must make every possible effort to resolve the political imbroglio and create an environment that is conducive to economic growth with all-round human development. This can only be achieved if we have genuine peace in our land. We must not allow the political issue to remain unresolved for the sake of the present and the future generations. The Naga people must be given the opportunity to flourish and grow, and in doing so, increase our contribution to the nation building process. At the top of the state government's agenda is the early resolution of the Naga political issue. We have undertaken several steps and measures in our role as facilitators of the peace process. The House has passed a number of resolutions over the years. Resolution has also been passed during consultative meetings with civil society organizations and others. Consultative meetings were held with all stakeholders on 15 October 2021 and again on 9 March 2022. Recently, all the political parties represented in the Nagaland Legislative Assembly have also come together to form UDA on 18 September 2021. Now all the 60 members of this August House are united with a single objective of working for a solution to the Naga issue. I reiterate the cry of the Naga people and the voice of the masses through the floor of this August House to the Government of India and to various Naga political groups to actively work for a settlement that is honorable, just, and acceptable to the people. Without genuine peace, there cannot be human progress, and neither can we attract a much needed investment that is necessary to promote economic growth. While appreciating the constant contribution of the mass-based civil society, tribal halls, church organizations, and NGOs in our search for peace, I once again appeal to all sections to rededicate ourselves to the cause of unity, oneness, understanding, and true peace. you are aware about the voting incident. I take this opportunity to express on behalf of all the honorable members of this August House our deep regret at the voting incident that has led to the loss of precious lives. Such mindless things cannot be condoned and have been condemned in the strongest terms. The state government has already constituted an SIT to inquire into the matter, and I intend to see that investigations are carried out thoroughly and taken to its logical conclusion. We are also actively pursuing with the Government of India for lifting the Armed Forces Special Power Act in the state. It may also be mentioned that the Ministry of Home Affairs have also set up a committee headed by the Secretary level officer, in which the Chief Secretary, Nagaland and DGP are members to. Because, sir, during the current year, due to the growth in the country's economy, the state share of central taxes has been increased in a revised estimate of the union budget by 554.40 crores. The state-owned resources also estimate to improve by rupees 42.42 crores. In view of this improvement, the year 2021-22 is to close with a deficit of 2,363.04 as against the early estimate of 2,676.46 crores in the budget estimate. As regard the budget proposal, Speaker Sir, I am estimating a gross receipt of 24,389.80 crores and gross expenditure of rupees 24,239.50 crores for the financial year 2022-23. The broad items-wise statements of the estimated gross received and expenditure is as under. Received. The state-owned tax and non-tax revenue 1,708.11 crores. State share in central taxes 4,646.80 crores. Central assistance grants and loans 9,720.20 crores. Internal debt servicing ways and means RBI 8,313.80 crores. Recovery of loan and advances by state government 1.51 crores, totaling to 24,389.80 crores. The expenditure, non-development expenditure excluding debt servicing, that is 10,410 crores, 0.19, and servicing of debts, inclusive of repayment of ways and means, 8,014.18, and development expenditure including CSS, etc., is 5,850.13, totaling 24,239.50 crores. So the balance ABC is 150, and public accounts nil, and current transaction will be C plus D 150.30. That means this year the receipt and the expenditure, we had a positive balance of 150.30 crores. So we have a surplus budget this year, but because of the two accumulated deficits, we had minus there, and we have brought down that much figure down. The current year transaction for the year 2022-23 are estimated to result in a positive balance of rupees 150.30 crores. However, because of the negative opening balance of rupees 2,363.04 crores, the year 2022-23 is estimated to close with a negative balance of 2,212.71 crores. Speaker Sir, with these few words, I commend the budget for 2022-23 to this August House for consideration and passing. Speaker Sir, at the outset, I want to thank you for allotting time for discussion on the Naga political issue under Rule 50, matter on urgent public importance. Sir, this is not a new issue to us. Every session we discuss, and where the issue is not discussed, we don't remember. Everybody participates and we discuss on the issue because it is on the top of our agenda. And that's the reason today there is opposition-less government, 60 members coming together on Naga political issue. And therefore today's discussion expressed by about 9 members. I think what they express and what others all could not get time to speak. 60 coming together opposition-less government on the basis of Naga political issue. I think our minds are same. And whether one to speak, spoke all members speak, I think the message is very clear. Therefore, I want to extend my appreciation to my honorable members who have spoken today, who had participated earlier in the previous houses also, because every session there is some discussion about Naga issues in all these years. And I appreciate those who have expressed their mind very clearly, loud and clear. Because sir, members of this House have deliberated on political issues, as mentioned in all the sessions, even in this 13th House. And if I'm not wrong, we have already passed 3 resolutions in this 13th House on Naga political issues. And I believe we have passed 17 resolutions since 1964 in this August House on Naga political issues. So that means from the first session to this 11th House, Naga issue dominates the mind and the priority of the Nagas. And that is the desire, the voice of the Nagas. Therefore, even today we are discussing on this. And I thank the Honorable Member Income Al for moving for time on this matter on urgent public importance to discuss on Naga politics. It is therefore appropriate that such deliberations are held in the Assembly, where representatives of the people express the feelings and desires of the people of the state. As long as Naga political issue continues to be the priority issue, agitating the minds of the people, therefore we have to continue to discuss in the floor of this House. Even on this Naga movement, the 1958 Armed Forces Special Power Act was imposed in Naga Hills, even before the statehood, because during that period there was a Naga movement at its peak, and to use the army and paramilitaries to control the situation. And unfortunate incident happened on 4th December 2021 in Otin village area in Mon district. Very, very unfortunate. This is the effect of the insurgency and the movement. And though this assembly had also passed for repealing of the ASPA, I don't know whether government of India will consider or not. But we had given our opinion and we have passed resolution that it should be repealed. It should be lifted from the state of Nagaland. But if solutions don't come and recruitment and other insurgency activities continues, it will be a big question for our states and its people. Since the beginning of statehood and even prior to that, generation of people have suffered on account of the violence, uncertainty, turmoil arising out of the Naga issue. It has adversely impacted our younger generations, including their growth and their outlook. All of us know reasonably well the history of the Naga politics. Therefore, I will not dwell on those things. The latest ceasefire drawn by the NLTV in 1997 and the K group starting from 1998 for 2 months and 2000 for 6 months and from 2001 the extension from 2015 till date the ceasefire is going on. And during this ceasefire, the violence and killings have reduced considerably after the ceasefire agreement. Government of India also accepted that the Naga issue is political and must be resolved through political talks and negotiation. In 2004, during the historic visit of the then Honorable Prime Minister, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, to Nagaland, when he stayed in Kohima for 3 days, the Government of India recognized the unique history and the identity and culture of the Nagas. And a historical agreement, the framework agreement between Government of India and Russian IM was signed on 3rd August 2015. And also NLTV groups in a ceasefire, and dialogue started later. And the agreed position was also signed between the Government of India and the NLTV group on 17 November 2017. 2.5 decades I feel that it is more than enough to understand one another. And in the agreement, we have seen also, and we have discussed also, that negotiating parties have fully understood and appreciate each other, and to reach an amicable solution acceptable to both sides. And as many of you have dwelt, that talk was concluded on 31st October 2019. So, taking this Naga issue, as mentioned by some honorable members, the elected members, the representatives, had several rounds of consultative meetings, and some very significant and important resolutions were passed also. Now let me recall some of them. On March 5th to 7th, 2009, a Naga consultative meet with overseas Nagas was held at Japur Hotel, Kohima. In the first of its kind, this meet was participated by all sections of the society, mass-based organization, church bodies, political parties, NGOs, and Naga political groups. The Naga consultative meet adopted 6 points resolution, including a 6 points recommendations. Then later on, in 2009, a joint legislative forum was again organized, and to unite, to move, to resolve the objective of peaceful solution. In 2018, a joint legislative forum was reconstituted with the Honorable Speaker as its chairman. It adopted the resolution urging the central government to conclude Naga political issue and work out a solution that is honorable and acceptable, which should be inclusive. So like that, because of our part played as facilitator and having joined forum, and today our stand coming together to pursue Naga political issue. These are very important. Why we have come together, 60 members? You are aware that so-called 31st October 2019 talk have concluded, but no solution, and therefore we are debating upon that again. Why? And that compels us to come together to give a last push. Let us also recall how all the these underground Naga groups, political groups came together under the Forum for Naga Reconciliation, following which the various NLTV groups have signed a Naga Reconciliation, a journey of common hope, on 20th August 2011. Further, statement was signed on 22nd August 2011 and Naga Concordant was signed on 25th August 2011. This Forum for Naga Reconciliation was headed by a reverend, church leaders, civil societies, prominent leaders, and all the Naga political groups came together and signed. But after signing the reconciliation, Naga reconciliation, a journey of common hope, and a Naga concordant, I think the public has to question, is it for the interest for the Nagas that they divided again, dispersed again, or why they have to not remain together and committed to the agreement signed between themselves? So I think now the civil societies, the church and the stakeholders, NGOs, have to take a serious discussion and discuss. Though the talk was concluded, it could not bring the solution. As I have mentioned today, 60 members together, because it could not be concluded, settlement could not come, we have come together. The paramount importance that we move forward towards realization of solution as early as possible. And therefore, the 9th March 2022, again a consultative meeting with all the stakeholders, including mass-based civil societies, church organizations, tribal hosts, political parties, NGOs. And we have to find a solution. There is no way out. I think Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi ji, has a large heart, and through his leadership, the framework agreement was signed. In his presence, with all the top brass, the Home Minister, the uniform chiefs, and all the senior officers, signed that agreement. And also a great position was signed with the legislator. And therefore, if we cannot find solution now, then when? And if when 60 members we have come together, though we have different party affiliations, we decided to come together. Therefore today it is befitting that we are discussing this issue. Till solution comes, we have to discuss. So now, I agree with Itachu. Our society, we have been too selfish too greedy, self-centered, and that's why we have done injustice to one another. And therefore, there is trust deficit, and rightly said, till justice is restored, it becomes very difficult. There is no common platform among the Naga society. Church is the only common platform. The vast majority of the Nagas are Christians, and that church is a platform where we can come together. So we look upon God and our church leaders and the civil societies to also give a clearing call, make the voice loud and clear that settlement should be taken after signing agreement, and then the agreement, though made, the interpretation, the narrations are different, and therefore we are facing problem. When these were signed and talk was concluded, you all know, the youth want benefit. The youth were excited that solution may come. Therefore, many youth, they had registered themselves into different groups, the Naga groups, thinking that when settlement comes, they will also be benefited. Up to that much excitement of the youth and the expectation of the people were betrayed. So today what we can do is appeal to the negotiation parties to come together, and they must take a settlement. Or if settlement cannot come, then there should be a fresh mandate by the people. How to pursue our Naga political issue? Yes, we recognize their sacrifices, their achievements. All is not a failure. When the Honorable Prime Minister Vajpayee came to Kohima, he declared the uniqueness of Naga history and culture. And Government of India also recognized Naga issue as political issue. And that was the basis of negotiation. So today, if there is genuine problem, then it need to involve the elected members also. And it also need the participation of the Naga leaders in the civil societies, the church, or even the youth. And it should give a clear mandate. Settlement should be taken, or if settlement cannot come, then I feel, personal view is that Naga issue should be pursued, but through non-violence. Non-violence, because the public, the civil, had suffered too much, as mentioned by some members, extortion, intimidation, threatenings, and illegal taxations in the name of Naga political issue. I think in this condition, the youth will not reach their potentials, their talents or their potentials cannot be exercised. Therefore, the bottom line is, Naga issue already recognized as political, and Government of India also recognized the uniqueness of Naga history and culture. So we should pursue our right, but through non-violence. This is what I think we should voice. So, once again, as I conclude my speech, this House, once again, as a 60-member voice, appeals once again to Government of India and to negotiation parties to hear the voice of the people, crying for peace and trying for solution. Because without peace and cordial atmosphere, present generation and even coming generation will continue to suffer and will have no future. With these few words, I thank all the honorable members for your participations and coming together as one, voicing a common voice and concern, desire for solution to the Naga protected issue. Thank you.